Sarah Noble.
Once upon a time, there was a family who lived in New Milford, Connecticut. Their home was too small and they wanted the adventure of building a new home. So John Noble, the father, decided that he would walk to the new land in Massachusetts and build a home. Mother said, "You can't walk by yourself." He said, "I will take Sarah and she will do the cooking for me." "No, you mustn't," she said. "She will be fine. Then I'll give her this cloak to take and she can use the cloak for courage." So they set off, waving to Mom as they went. And they walked. They began to walk. After spending the first night in the forest, Father decided it would be best to stay at a settlement, and they were happy to see a settlement before them. They knocked on the door, and it was opened by a woman who looked stern. "I am Mrs. Robinson," she said. "We're trying to find a place to stay for the night. May we stay with you?" "You may stay." They stayed with Mistress Robinson and her children, but it turned out the family wasn't very friendly, and the children actually ended up scaring Sarah. She and her father were not sorry to leave, and she was glad she had her cloak for courage. So they said goodbye to Mrs. Robinson, and they left. When they got to the new land, Pa said they'd have to live in a cave while he built the new house, and the next morning he went to start building the house with Thomas and left Sarah alone. She was surprised when Indian children snuck up and surprised her while reading her Bible, but she quickly discovered that they didn't speak English and they were friendly. She scared them away when she spoke sharply to them. But later, she started to make friends with them, and Father made friends with the Indian father named Tall John. In fact, Father and Tall John agreed that they would work together to build the house, while Sarah spent time making friends with the Indians.
Courage of Sarah Noble, Part 2.
One day, Sarah's father and Tall John came to Sarah and said, "Sarah, we have some news. The house is finished." And Father said, "I will be going back to get the family. You will be staying with Tall John and his Indian family by yourself." "No, no," said Sarah. "I can't leave Father." But she didn't say it out loud because she didn't want Father to know that she was scared. Instead, she thought of her cloak. Courage, Sarah Noble. Keep up your courage. And she knew she could move in with Tall John and his family. Father left, and the next day she moved in with the Indian children, Tall John's wife, or squaw, and the Indian family. She learned their ways, and the Indian squaw made her a deerskin dress and moccasins. She played with the children, and she learned with the children, and finally one day they went outside. She was teaching the children games and how to speak English, and the Indian kids were teaching her how to find fruit and pick berries. One day they were playing a game when suddenly somebody snuck up. She had no idea who was behind her, but she was a little bit scared because she thought it might be the Indians from the north.
Courage of Sarah Noble, Part 3.
She was so scared it was an Indian from the north, but when she turned around, she gasped. It was Father. "I'm home," he said, "and I've got the whole family with me." "Oh, Father, I've missed you." She ran home into the Indian home, changed out of her deerskin clothes, back into the stiff, hard English clothes, and joined him. "I'm ready to go home, Father." "Goodbye, Tall John. We've missed you. We've missed you. Tall John. Tall John, we've missed you." Tall John actually put Sarah up on his shoulders. Sarah got right up on his shoulders, and he took her for a ride all the way over to her home. Of course, Tall John did not say much because he was a man of few words. When she arrived home, there was her mother and the baby. We need her mother. And all the brothers and sisters. "I've missed you, I've missed you. But Tall John and his family took good care of me." Mother said, "I don't believe an Indian family took good care of you." Sarah said, "Oh, Mother, they took care of me like I was one of their own." Everybody in the family learned that Indians and English people could get along, and Sarah found that her cloak still gave her courage even as she grew up.